Good morning, everyone. I'm very glad to be here to share our operation experiences of Kaohsiung Public Library. And my name is Cheng-Yi Pan, the director of this public library. And I will show you some slides to indicate it, to show you our facilities and operation of the library. And this is me. I'm standing in front of a museum of this art of the art piece of work that stay in the fourth floor of the main public library. And I will show you in three parts. The first is Kaohsiung City, KPL transformation, and the section 2 is KPL keep milestones and 9 flipped movement achievements. And the section 3 is KPL futures and services. First of all, I would like to give you some image of Kaohsiung City. First, it was a special municipality. We have 6 special municipalities in Taiwan. First is Taipei City, New Taipei City, Taoyuan, Taichung, Tainan, and Kaohsiung. You can see that the Kaohsiung City is located in the southern part, southeastern part of Taiwan, and it has 2,900 square kilometers and have 2.7 million population. And it has become the biggest in territory of Taiwan. And it was a highly industrialized city. As you know, that Taiwan miracles in early 1960s to early 1980s. And Kaohsiung played a very important role of the industrialized city. As you know, you can see through this picture that this is Kaohsiung Harbor. Full tanks, containers, ships, etc. That is, now we are just flipping and we are transforming. And first of all, I would like to show you a video made in 2014. Flipping Kaohsiung City. This is the main public library. And this is the port terminal. And it will be completed next year. And this is the light rail. And this is the main public library of Kaohsiung. It was opened in the year 2014. And this is the light rail. And this is the convention center. And this is the Pop Culture Center, and we're also opening in next year. Those important buildings are all located nearby the Kaohsiung Harbor. So we propose an idea, it's called the New Bay of Asia. It was proposed in 2014. Okay, and Kaohsiung Public Library has several different stages. First of all is in year 2010. The merger of Greater Kaohsiung, we combined with Kaohsiung County and Kaohsiung City together, and we link all the branches together and become a one Kaohsiung Public Library. That happened in year 2010. The second is 2014, that it is the grand opening of our main public library. And this had become a new cultural landmark of Kaohsiung City. The citizens is very proud to bring their friends, children, relatives to visit Kaohsiung Public Library. And the third stage is happened in year 2017. The Kaohsiung Public Library had transformed the organization into the non-departmental public bodies. That this idea originated from the UK, and it is the first to become a non-departmental public library of Taiwan among all of the libraries. So Kaohsiung Public Library is the first one to become that organization in order to make the organization more flexible to react to the trend of the world. And then the last stage will happen in this year and next year. That means that we will combine with the Creation Tower. We call it Creation Tower. That was a BOT case. Maybe you don't know BOT, that is Build, Operation, Translate, the combined idea. And it will be just combined with the Creation Tower next year, and we'll move to another new era. And this is I will show you the first mission is we want to complete one district, one library. We have 38 districts. So now every district has one library at least. So I'll just show you that before 2010, we have the 153 square kilometers. And now we have 2,900 square kilometers. The population is 1.5, population to 1.7. And we have 7 libraries to now 60 libraries. So you can see that we had fulfilled that one district, one library last year. So you can see that this is the 14 newly branches. We had spent more than 260 million NT dollars. That means roughly equal to the Tibet, 260 million NT dollars. I will show you one by one. December 28, that this is 9th branch. It's first new branch of Kaohsiung Public Library. And the second one is Zhuoxin branch. Third one is Xiaogang branch. Fourth is Chengguan, September 2011. And this is the Dadong Art Library. It is very famous before the new main library was opened. It was very, very unique. It is professional, focused on the collection of architecture and art. And this is the Lingyuan second branch. We have 2 branches in Lingyuan district. It was opened in December 2012. And January 2014, that we have a Chengzhongrun branch. This is the Chaoya branch. It is the biggest branch of Kaohsiung Public Library located in Chaoya district. And we have almost 7,500 square meters in occupation. And November 2014, we have Hertie branch. It is very popular branch that in that community. And this is the main public library opened in year 2014, November 13. It was a tremendous achievement of the Kaohsiung city. I will introduce later. And this is the November 2015, the Mainong branch. It is a Haganese. It is a small group of Taiwanese that they gather together in that area. So we design a very special or a culture of this branch. And this is the Chishan branch opened in June 2018. And this one is the last piece of the puzzle, and we complete the one district, one library of Kaohsiung City. This is the last one opened in last year, August 2018. It's very, very beautiful, located in the park, surrounded by trees. You can see that trees and libraries space that they interacted together. It's very beautiful. And we also provide a book link service. What is that? That means that we connected the 60 libraries all together and become a big library. People can select it from any branches of the library and to choose, maybe, for example, to choose the main public library, the collection. And the colleagues of ours will pick from the main public library and send it to the branch he chooses. That almost spent 2.6 working days to deliver the book. It is very, very convenient. So it has very popular for our citizens. And we just circulation very, very frequently. We have eight trunk to pick, travel those circulation books. So it is very, very popular in Kaohsiung City. And we also provide a mobile library, a storytelling mummy, because as I mentioned, the Kaohsiung City is the biggest city in territory of Taiwan. So we have a large area. We have remote district near, just far from the downtown. So in order to just balance the urban and rural, the gap, so we provide these storytelling mummy and mobile library. We carry the books to the remote maybe primary school and more areas, communities, and we to share that the people, that the students can read the books easily, and they enjoy the storytelling, and they just, I can see through their face with smile and with this. It is very touching moment. So this our another system, mobile library. And we also provided MRT, smart library, in the subway station. And this station is automatically operated for 24 hours for the commuters, for the transporters, for the citizens. They can borrow easily from that station. So we provide that system to help people to read while they are traveling. And through this slide, I will show you that from 2010 to 2018, we have several data indicated that, for example, that the patron visits from 6.7 million to 26 million. It has raised to 297% for patrons to visit the libraries. During the 8 years, we have grown almost 300%. And the second is circulation items. Item circulation, we have from 3.9 million to 11 million items. It has grown for almost 200%. The third is persons for circulation were visited from 944,000 to 2.9 million, and it had grown almost 200%. And another is that the average number of books each person we purchase a lot of books. So we had increased 98% from one book for every person per capita to 2.14 per capita. And the second is library card holders. we had 729,000 and to 1.6 million in year 2018. It had grown for 130%. And the total connections, we spent for 980 million NT dollars to purchase the books to put into the library. So the connections is from 1.6 million items to 1.94 million items in whole library system. It had grown 260% for the connections. So I will show you the grand opening of our main public library, and the story I will tell you more later. This picture is very famous, important picture. You can search from the website. It's easily to be get. And this photo was photoed on 12 November 2014, 6:45 p.m. You can say that the whole library was decorated with a red long ribbon. We had 3 kilometers long ribbons and 3 meters wide to carry all this main public library. We call it, the slogan is called that the Kaohsiung citizens sent the gift to Kaohsiung. Why is that? Because this building spent 1.9 billion NT dollars. All comes from the Kaohsiung city government's budget without any request from the central government. And the second is all the collections for 730,000 items all comes from the citizens, donated from the businessmen, from the residents. So you can see that we were just very, very touched for the city movement. It is not only for the government operation to build a library, to buy some items, not only that. It had become a city movement. Every resident enjoy or involved to help us to procure those items. So we said that this library is called the Kaohsiung Residents Sent to Kaohsiung. So we just rub it with a long ribbons. And I will tell you more that before our opening, 4 months before, Kaohsiung City was suffering in a huge gas explosion. Caused 32 persons dead, 321 persons injured. At the time, Kaohsiung was suffered in depression, anger, anxiety, because as you know, I had mentioned that Kaohsiung is an industrialized city, full of pipe, underground. The people that they cannot imagine that they stay in their house and that's happened tragedy. The pipe exposed underground. At the time that Kaohsiung residents, they are confused that where is the safe place for Kaohsiung City? We want hope. So after 4 months, this new main public library opened. We bring the Kaohsiung residents a hope. Light tower to show them that we have to move ahead, although we are suffering by our past history. We have to move. So this is the very, very important historical picture that you can search on the website. And we have not only the beautiful appearances, beautiful structure, we also try to make some different innovations. So we had 9 flipped achievements. I will show you one by one. The first one is improve the disadvantages derived from the international building. This building was built from the international building, but the original rules is the foreigner, the team lead the building. But we changed the rule. We changed the rule that the domestic architect lead the team. He can search one consonant comes from the foreign team, and we just face into the domestic architect. Why is that? That because we can communicate easily. So this building just only spent 25 months for constructing. It's much faster than at the same time the other counties. So this is the first, we changed the rules. We flipped this international building. And the second one is the engineering construction. That as the host mentioned, that this building is suspended structure. And it had won the 14th Public Construction Commission Golden Quality. That is held in Taiwan. And we'll show you that this is we also win the FIAPSI Workplace Excellence Award that in year 2016. It is international prize that is very famous. And I will show you that this is the structure theory. We had the architect that the guest speech that he knows very well. That this is the some theory of this building. You can see that we have a big chair, right? The big chair combined with the suspension technique that becomes our library. So we have to build the 8th floor first. And this 8th floor is the base. Then we hand down the floor from 8, 7, 6, 5. So this building is upside down building. It's suspended. So this is, you can see that the floor is from the top to the bottom. And I will show you that the picture, that this is the idea of this main public library. It has 4 core columns. It looks like a cube. And we will have a BOT in another era. And we had a no column white plaza without column and with 7.5 height. We play a lot of activities in that ground. This is the restaurant. is the library inside. We have a huge ocean. And we had trees around the library. People can read outside. This is the reading area, and this is trees in the ocean. It's very, very famous. The library has trees and the books under the trees. And we have a garden on the roof. And this is outdoor theater on the roof. And B1, we have a children theater, and we have picture book center. You can spend 4 days in the library. And so far has more than 7 million visitors has visited Kaohsiung Public Library. And this is the KPL associated effort. And this is the time lapse of the structure. We spent 25 months to build this building. You can see that the 4 core columns built at first. And then there's the table. See, the table is built. And from the top to the down. Surrounded with trees. A green building. Okay. So this theory is that why we use this suspended technique. That means from the traditional building you have 90 cm plus 90 cm in columns white, right? And use this suspended steels. The rods has 6 to 12 in meter in size. So the space has been related, has been liberated. So we have more space can see through. And this is the different area of the library. We have 8 huge trees in the entrance of the library. You can see that is provide a different reading atmosphere for the visitors. People can go outside to read under the trees. It is another different kind of experience. Okay, the third flip is the biggest public culture construction. It was the biggest single culture investment in past 2 decades of Kaohsiung city government. We spent 1.9 billion NT dollars in constructing, and we spent another 500 million NT dollars for connections. So this is the very huge cultural investment at the time. And we propose a program is called that we try to attract the donations. So a lot of businessmen and residents, citizens that donated their money from 100 million NT dollars to $100. So it is from the small amount to the biggest amount. So we have a thankfulness tree in the 3rd floor, and we invented an activity that the people who donated 300, 600, 900 NT dollars can write some words on the book. So we just, maybe the mother will write some words to memorize the time they read together with their children. So that becomes a very huge movement of the city. So it is very, very famous, and now there is no other city can copy this idea. It is very rare. And the fourth is unique book procurement process, that we insisted to buy the Chinese version's book in 30% discount. It is quite different from the doing in Taiwan, because the Taiwan Public Library, they procure their items for the lowest price. That is not good for the publisher. So we regard the publisher as the culture industry. So we value that a lot. We try to protect those industry. So we insisted that we don't use the lowest price. We guarantee them 30% off, so they can have some more benefits, interests, advantages for our procurement. So this is unique from this procurement process. And now the other countries that they learn from our ideas, try to protect our culture industry, publisher industry. And the fifth is e-book of public lending rights. That, as you know, you have digital content in the library also in Thai. We also have the e-book public lending, the system service for the Kaohsiung Public Library. People can have 60 e-books per year for free. We pay for the residents, and we pay those money to the platform provided from the publisher. And this unique system that means win-win system. Why is that? Means the more the readers read, the more benefits the publisher, the writers get. In the former idea that when the public library buy the items, that means the writers have some disadvantages in potential, right? The more they borrow, the less the royalties they can get. But in this system, that we change this game, that the more the readers read, the more benefits, the more royalties the writers can get. So this is the very successful model, and was copied also by the other countries. They follow our public libraries. They just have the same movement to do this e-book public lending right. The sixth is key publication windows. That, as you know, that the connections from the main public library all donated from the residents, right? So the books all are new. But the library, sometimes they pray the rows like a museum. They have old books. very old books, valuable books. So we create this publication window. We search for the key publication in history of Taiwan and to put into a showcase like this. We have more than 600 showcase to show those valuable publications in history of Taiwan. And we also write some brief introduction to show the people that to make them have more knowledge about this publication. And we also have QR code. You can get into the website, have more detailed explanation. This is our another idea that we make the library become some sort of book museum. The 7th is International Picture Book Center. As you know, that we have a picture center in the basement. We have more than 15 different languages, 28 countries, and more than 160,000 connections from 2,000 publishers. That is a very, very huge connection in Taiwan. And now it is the biggest picture center in public library in Taiwan. So this is the environment. We also met a very beautiful, this is the restaurant. We decorated for children. Children love it very, very, they just will scream that when they were going to this restaurant. And we invited an artist to make this piece of work. It is very interesting and famous in Kaohsiung. 8 is Special Kaohsiung Books Area, that we try to connect it different topic of Kaohsiung, the transportation, cuisine, history, and etc. That we connect it together at 4th floor, that to let someone who are interested in Kaohsiung, they can get the information easily. And it has almost 40,000 items in this floor. This is local connection. The next one is the new model of combination with public, library, and business. The BOT Creation Tower will be open in year 2020. So this is the new model of the public library. We combine the public with the business model. So this has some benefit for us. We will have incomes for 158 million US dollars during the 50 years. So this is the tower, this is the creation tower. You can see through this image. Okay, so KPL indicated providing inhabitants diversity reading experiences. And I will show you that this is another very professional branch of Kaohsiung Public Library. It's called Kaohsiung Literary Museum. You will be curious, why is a museum put into a system of the public library? It is very interesting. So this literary museum was named in year 2004. And we redecorated in year 2018 and reopened, become like this. And we hold a lot of different kind of literature activities, reading, writers, an award. We even promote, just undertake a literature, youth literature award. I will introduce later. We want this spatial library to promote our literature reading, because the literature is the core of the culture. So we want to promote more about, to let more persons to get involved in the literature activity. So as you can see the pictures, we invite a lot of speakers. We hold some meeting, forums, etc. in this area. It was located in the Central Park of Kaohsiung City. It was very, very famous of Kaohsiung. And we also have a lot of different style of activities, especially for the storytelling items. We had picture books, workshop serials, different. We have different book film exhibition. We have workshop. We have invited some famous speaker from overseas to connect it together to try to promote the children's activity. And this is another special service for Kaohsiung Public Library. We call that Southeast Asian Mobile Library Service. Because we have more than 460 residents comes from the Southeast Asia. And we also have more than 500,000 workers comes from the Southeast Asia. So it is a huge group of Kaohsiung City. We also procure a lot of items and put from different countries, including Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, etc. But we found those friends, they don't visit library. We are very curious about that. So we try to find out the reasons. We find out they seldom come in to visit library. They have to live in the dormitory, or they have to live in someone's house. So it is not easy to get into the library. So we create another mobile library. So we connected all the items that are related to the Southeast languages. We sent them to the dormitory. And this picture shows that the Philippines, that they love the books because they don't have time, they don't know how to borrow. So we send the cards to their dormitories to let them can borrow the books, and they can return the books routinely. We make cooperation routinely. So this is another service for the Southeast Asian Mobile Library Service. And we also have culture picture books, Little Big Shot. We call Little Big Shot project. We try to outstretch to the primary school. We cooperate with the primary school, and we have some storytelling mommy that to go to the primary school to share storytelling, and we try to encourage the children. They can also try to speak their story. So this is the activity that we try to educate, or we had provided some appreciation curriculum workshop for the people, the primary school students, to let them know the picture books. So all the efforts is try to outreach to the children's mind. We try to educate the children from their small age. If the children have the reading habits from their young age, that will be very, very beneficial for them when they grow up. So we just propose this Little Big Shots project. We try to help them to read. And we also have another event for the published reading books. As I mentioned that with that lady, we have a book start. We also have book start project, but we create our own. We try to create our local sign, story, and become a picture book. And we deliver every one of the baby from the 0 age to 2 years old. And every new baby can have this picture book. So this is the activity that we invite parents to celebrate this activity. And this picture book, we just have local symbol like the light rail, the Newman Public Library, the local sign. We try to input the idea for the baby from their very beginning. They can know their history, their land, their culture very, very early. So we have one book, and we have another CD with 5 different languages: the Mandarin, Taiwanese, Haganese, Vietnamese, and one regional tribe language. We have 5 different languages that made a song, baby song, together. One book, one CD, and we spread it to all the residents of the new baby in Kaohsiung. So we try to make the reading as early as they can. And this is the benefit for the parents. They can accompany with their children and they share the reading. And the research indicated that if the baby have started the reading in their very early time, especially with their parents, their character will grow more perfectly, with safety, more friendly, more gendery. So this is the research indicated that benefits. So we want our baby can have their own book. So this is our book start project in Kaohsiung. And we also that have a salon that this salon is picture books as a conversation channels to the world. So we not only provide the picture books reading, we try to know this industry, picture books industry, from the writers, the communicators, the publishers. We all put them together and to make a salon, and we communicate together, and we talk with the audience, with the parents, with the residents from the August 28 to December 16 last year. And this activity was very successful, that a lot of publishers comes from other counties, not only in Kaohsiung County, in Kaohsiung City. They comes from the other areas and join this salon, and we communicate. We try to know this industry. We try to deepen this relationship between picture books and those publishers. So this is another event we try to do. Also, we just hold a meet literature in Kaohsiung autumn. We want to, in order to memorize one very famous Taiwan writers called Ye Shitao in their 10th death anniversary. So we hold this activity in our literary museum last year. We hold different kind of speech, concert, or even the film, the film book exhibition, etc. We want to share share the literature, and we want to memorize this very famous Taiwan writer. So this is the activity held last year, and this is the picture. And meanwhile, we have a lot of diversity workshop delivered in the main public library and also in the branches. We have more than 10,000 activities yearly in the branches and in the main public library for health, film, and for drawing, and for knowledge, for trend, for and analyze and etc. A lot of different kind of topic held in the library that is that the people can get the information, get the knowledge easily. And this is another lecture now with different area. As you know, we have one main public library. We have 60 branches, and we have 5.9 million items around those libraries. So it is a very huge system. So every branch has different lecture, especially in the main public library. We have a lot of very, very important speakers to deliver their knowledge in our main public library. So we also launched another event we called Book of the Month event. We introduce every good book monthly. So this is the February book. Find yourself on the world map. This is the book's name. So we try to make the reading movement among the citizens. We hope that every citizen can focus on reading. So we launched this event and hope that every people in Kaohsiung City can read books. Also, we had a prize that to encourage them to write what they are thinking. And if the first prize is $30,080. It is very, very good prize. So we encourage them to reading. We encourage them to write. We encourage them to achieve the knowledge from the book. So this is another new event we launched from February this year. Earlier than I hope that. So this is the Q&A issue. If you have any question interested in Kaohsiung Public Library or any question you can say.
Okay, let's go for the first one. How long does the transferring book of BookLink takes? Like within a day, 1 day, 2 days?
2.6 working days.
2.6 working days.
From the circulation, because we have a very huge area, biggest city in geography in Taiwan, so the area is very huge. So we take 2.6 working days in circulation.
Creating a place that supports reading for people to come up, does it help to turn more attention to reading?
Definitely.
Definitely. I think so too.
I will guarantee you that when is the new main public library opened in year 2014, we have the most biggest population visitors in 1 day is 30,000 visitors 1 day to come into this new main library. It happened in December 28th, year 2014. It is a new opening that attracts people that maybe they are curious and they
That's what it happens when you open the new library.
Yeah. So a new good facilities will attract readers. I just tell you that we can spend a whole day stay in the new public library. We provide a reading atmosphere. We provide a restaurant. We provide a different kind of atmosphere, outdoors, indoors.
เวิร์กช็อปไหนที่ได้รับการตอบรับมากที่สุดประสบความสำเร็จหรือป๊อปปูล่ามากที่สุดนะคะ
We have two kinds of workshop that is very popular. One is for youth. One is for children. The youth is that we try to connect the young teenagers. We try to provide a different kind of knowledge from school. As you know, that they are suffering in reading English, struggling in mathematics, science. But in this workshop, we just get rid of those knowledge. We provide music, movie, philosophy, discussion. So we just try to encourage or open their eyes that your world is not only in school, not only in those exam courses you have to prepare, or the courses you are suffering. The world is huger, much huger than you imagine. So this is the very popular workshop for youth. And for kids, that it is a lot of different kind of workshop that is all popular from the children, because children are always happy, naive, and they're easily to get happy. So if we just get some workshop, then attract them. They cooperate or they attend very, very easily. Okay.
How do we change the beliefs of young children that thinks the library is boring? เปลี่ยนยังไงดีคะถ้าเด็กๆเขาคิดว่าอุ๊ยห้องสมุดน่าเบื่อจังเลย
I think the key words is interesting. You must make the library become interesting. So we just undertake a lot of different kind of activities, storytelling, games. We try to attract them not only reading. Reading is important, but from now that there are a lot of different methods of getting knowledge. You can get knowledge from playing games. You can get knowledge from seeing a movie or a musical playing. So we have different kind of channel to achieve knowledge. So I think, first of all, you have to let the library become interesting. This is the key.
How many staff do you have in the main public library? Branches? In one branches, how many people, how many staff do you have? Okay, I think I cover all.
Very sensitive question. Okay, we have 360 colleagues in Kaohsiung Public Library. We have 130 colleagues, staff in main public library. And our library open from 12 hours, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And we started from the Chinese Lunar New Year, the first day of Chinese Lunar New Year. We take day off on every Monday for maintenance, cleaning. And every branches, it depends on you are big or small. The biggest one almost have 10, and smallest one maybe just have 1. But in terms, because we have lasted a long opening time, so we have 2 in term. But we have 1,500 volunteers. We just have a very huge volunteers to support our operations. So it is quite helpful for us to get volunteers to help us to share the work.
With limitations of budget, okay, I think it's what or how we can change the library.
This is the reality. Yeah, everyone is facing this tough situation. In my city, I'm lucky enough that I have more budget because maybe the leader of the government, they focus on this movement or this idea. But if you have limited budget, I am suffering the limited budget also, not only you. So the point is you have to analyze which is your priority. Or maybe you can cooperate with private sector, teachers, volunteers, a different area of architects, You can share story. We also try to train the volunteers to become a storytelling mommy. So they can share the storytelling around the other area, the schools. So we are facing the shortage of budget also. But we try to just list it, the priority you have. Try to do it. I try to make the library interesting.
Can foreigner go to library in Kaohsiung? Can we use the library?
Of course. You can borrow the library card and use your passport. Use your passport and you can apply the library card of Kaohsiung Public Library. You can enjoy for free. For free.
What do you think about technology disruption, which might affect library and librarian, such as using AI or robot instead of people?
I think it will happen in the soon future because AI will change our life. Definitely, I assure you. So maybe one day when you get into the library, you are facing a robot. I'll give you a service. May I help you? Yes, that will happen in the soon future, maybe within 5 years or 10 years. So it is a big challenge for us, especially librarians, that if it happens, what should we do to change or to combine with this trend? I think we have to think carefully about our core value. What is the core value of the library? We have to think again and again. So you'll get answer. Because different country has different core value. So I don't tell you mine. You think yourself. So it will happen. Yeah. Okay.
What is the main factor for making people in your area love reading, in your opinion?
I just mentioned before, make your library interesting. That's the key point. If the library is interesting, if the library full of attraction, if the library full of knowledge, information, yeah, people will come. So we have more than 7 million visitors visit our main public library during the 4 years. So this roughly more than 2.3 million visitors a year in our main public library. So you just make your library interesting. Yeah.
Okay, that would be our last question. So ladies and gentlemen ขอเสียงปรบมือให้กับคุณเจิ้งอี้พานด้วยค่ะ Thank you very much once again Mr. Cheng-Yi Pan. Thank you for your great information.